Welcome to Audible Stories. The youngest son. Once upon a time, a king had 7 sons he adored. When they grew up, they wanted to find brides. But the youngest son decided he would stay with his father to keep him company. "Don't forget to bring back a princess for me too," the youngest son told his older brothers. The king gave his sons fine clothes and bags of money and handsome steeds. Off they rode, around the world. At long last, they reached a kingdom where a king had 6 daughters with a maid. This maid was very beautiful and pretty girl, but she was always dressed in rags. The princes and princesses fell in love. The lads headed home with their brides, and the beautiful maid. But they had completely forgotten a princess for the youngest son. As they were riding home, they passed a giant's house. When the giant saw them with the beautiful maid, he cast a spell on the 6 brothers with their brides and turned them all into stone. Back home, the youngest son and the king waited. But when months passed with no sign of the princes, the king began to mourn. "I could not live, if I did not still have you, son," he told his youngest son. "But I've been thinking I should go find my brothers," the youngest son admitted, reluctantly. "No, I can never let you go away," the king urged. But he begged for so long, that the king had to say, yes. He had only a strong black horse, so that's what he took, with some food for his journey. He left the next morning for his rescue operation. After he had ridden for a while, he saw a raven on the road that was unable to move. "Please feed me, and I'll always help you," the raven said. "I have little food," he said, "but I can spare some for you." He fed the raven some bread, and the poor creature revived. The youngest son rode on and came to a salmon that was lying on dry land thrashing about, trying to reach the nearby stream. "Please push me in," the fish cried, "and I'll help you in every way I can." He shoved the salmon into the water and kept going until he met a lion slowly crawling down the road. "I am starving to death," the lion whispered. "Let me eat your horse, and I'll help you in every way I can." "I can't do that," he explained. "How will I travel? You can eat all the food that I have." After the lion ate all the food served by the youngest son, the lion said, "I know you are looking for your brothers. I'll take you to your brothers, a giant has cast a spell on them." Soon they came to the giant's house, and he saw his brothers and their 6 brides turned to stone. "Go inside," the lion said. "You'll find a beautiful maid who will tell you what to do." The youngest son stepped inside and saw a maid princess. She was so lovely that he nearly stopped gasping and breathing. "No one can kill the giant," the maid princess told him. "He has no heart in his body." But love for the maid princess made him brave. "I can try to fell the giant," he said. So he and the maid princess made a plan. He crept under the giant's bed. After some time had passed, he heard the giant roar, "I smell human blood." The maid princess said, "Yes, a raven flew inside and let a man's bone fall down the chimney. I threw it out, but the smell remains." "All right, then," said the giant. "Dear giant," the maid princess said, very sweetly, Where do you keep your heart?" "That's none of your business," the giant said. "But I love you, so I'll tell you. It's under the entrance way." So, in the morning, when the giant departed, the youngest son and the princess dug under the doorsill, but they found no heart. They filled the hole and covered it with a rug, and the youngest son again climbed under the bed. Yet when the giant returned, he roared, "I smell human blood." "The raven dropped a bone down the chimney again," the maid princess said. "And what is that pretty rug by the door?" the giant asked. "I wanted to keep your heart warm," the maid princess said. The giant laughed snidely. "Ha! Ha! My heart's not there. I fooled you. Where is it, then?" the maid princess asked. "You'll never find it," he said. "I keep my heart far away. On an island in a nearby lake, there's a church with a well inside. There's a duck that lives in the church and swims in the well. In that duck is an egg. In that egg is my heart. But you'll never get it from the duck." In the morning, when the giant was gone, the youngest son ran outside to the lion and explained where the giant's heart was. He asked the lion to take him to the church. So they rode over mountains and across valleys, until at last they came to the lake. The lion swam through the water with the youngest son on his back until they reached the island. They finally arrived at the church. But the keys to church were hanging way up in the church's tall tower. "Raven," he called out, "I need your help." Hearing the plea, the raven flew to the top of the tower and fetched the keys and dropped them to him. Then he opened the church and walked inside. There, in the well, he saw the duck. The youngest son coaxed it to swim to him. But, instead, as if sensing what he wanted, the duck flew out the church's window, dropping the egg in the lake. He soon ran to the window, calling out, "Salmon, I need your help. Grab that egg." The salmon came and fetched the egg and safely returned to him. Holding the egg with care, he and the lion rode back to the giant's house. When the giant saw the youngest son with the egg, his face turned dark with fury. "Squeeze the egg," the lion asked. The youngest son squeezed the egg, and the giant screamed, "Stop, stop. What do you want from me? I'll give you anything. Restore my brothers and their brides to life," he demanded. And so the giant did. "Now, squeeze the egg again," ordered the lion, and he began to squeeze as hard as he could. With that, the giant burst and died. He then declared his love for the maid princess. And so, all 7 brothers and their 7 brides to be rowed home, and there they married. The king declared the youngest son as the king, and they lived happily ever after, with their new happy-go-lucky king. If you like the story, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you for listening.